Yo, what is going on? This is your boy, ThatGuyFace with Face the Music Media. We are back again for another episode of How I Synth. In this video, we got native instruments, Komplete 14. Well, at least some of the stuff in Komplete 14. Let's get into it. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Oh, yeah. Face the music. So, Massive X is the successor of the VST Massive. And so basically this is supposed to expand on the first Massive. And so it has a lot of modulation possibilities and a lot of options for different wave tables and different oscillators and sound generators. So let's go ahead and jump into it. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified every time we drop a video, and go ahead and hit the video with a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Also, make sure you go to realloops.com, that's REELLOOPS, and cop the Sweet Fusion preset pack. That pack is loaded with presets for the Cherry Audio synths. Volume 2 is coming soon, so you want to stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. So Massive X, I can't even lie, just from first glance, the plugin is weird, and it's not really that user-friendly as far as, what these controls do. Like, for instance here, it took me so long to figure out some of the stuff without having to go to the manual, which, whatever, you're supposed to read the manual. But at the same time, I like to just jump in and get straight to it and see what I can figure out without the manual, and then add on to that by going through the manual. But with this one, there's no way. There's no help guide. Some of the stuff is just not self-explanatory. Like, for instance, with the modulation sections here, it took me a while to figure out that if you click here, you can change it. Little stuff like that. But either way, it sounds good. And, I love the sound of it. So let's just jump into it, man. So basically, we have our pitch section and the glide here. We have our oscillators here. And if you click here, you can change, and go through the different types of sound generators for your oscillators. And each one has tons of options for you. And so, all of these, I'm not going to go over all of these features here. You're going to have to read the manual for that. I'm going to keep it simple for this video. Then we have the noise oscillator here. We have our filter here. And then we have our effects section here. I didn't even know this was the effects section at first. I was like, man, this plugin doesn't have any effects. After I figured out if you click the titles here, it pulls up a menu. I'm like, oh, well, I wonder what these do. And I click and I'm like, oh, there's the effects. There you go. And then you have your amplifier section here, and then more effects here. I'm not even sure what this little section does up here. I don't know. You can't route this stuff out, so I don't know. Or maybe you can. I don't know. It's not self-explanatory. I didn't see it in the manual, so it is what it is. Oh, look at there. So I guess if you click on the number and you choose a situation, there you go. All right. I just figured that out on accident. Okay. Anyway, man, let's go ahead and get into the video. So, I like to do the two oscillators and detune them for that natural phase sound. So let's go ahead and jump into that. First, you have to go over here and go to init. Okay, so now let's go back over here. Polysaw. And so you could sweep through the oscillator with this control here. All right, so let's go to oscillator 2 and choose a saw there. I'm gonna choose a different saw for this oscillator. So I'm just gonna choose this random one, quad saw, and let's see what that sounds like. Nice. So let's go ahead and mix both of them together and see what that sounds like. I'm going to turn this down some. So let's go ahead and detune. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up some modulation here. And I want to have the sweep just a little bit. I'm not going to have a sweep all the way from left to right, but I just wanted to move around a little bit. So these are all of our modulation sources down here. E is for envelope, of course. L is for LFO. So let's come over to LFO and I'm going to choose modulator 4 here. I'm going to sync that. And so basically how we route it is take this little deal here and we'll go up here. Then we just click and drag. Now, another thing that I noticed about this plugin that I didn't particularly like is that when you modulate stuff, like most other plugins, when you modulate it and it's moving around, you can see it. You can see what the modulation is doing. In Massive X, you can't see it. You just have to listen. So if you want to do subtle changes, you would just have to know what the sound is doing just from experience because you're not going to see it. So it's not going to help you get a visual picture of what's going on. But anyway. Actually, I'm going to set that to free, and I want that to go really slow. And I'm going to do the same modulation on this one as well. And let's go ahead and take a listen to that. Nice. I love that. So let's go ahead and take a listen to the filter. This is our filter section here. There's multiple options for filters. Let's see here. I want to try. Let's try this one here. Nice. So I see we have different options here to drive the filter. Let's take a listen to those. I love it. So I have a chord progression that I played in the background. I have a couple of effect sounds that are in the complete bundle, and I'm going to fool with those as well. But let's go ahead and build the sound out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over. Let's go basic really quick. And we'll go, let's just do a regular saw. That's not a regular saw. I'm going to choose standard saw here. Let's take a listen. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to choose a different filter here. That one was kind of noisy. Let's see what this one sounds like. Okay, that's more like it. What I'm going to do is go ahead and do a couple envelopes here. Go ahead and route that out. I'll take envelope 1, come over here, drag it up. Let's take a listen. So for the modulator 1, I'm going to go ahead and have that sweep down. So I want to take the sustain all the way down. And let's take a listen to that. Nice. So I want to do another LFO, and I also want to put that on the filter cutoff. And so I'm just going to have that create a little bit of movement. So I'm going to sync this one, and let's go to 4/16 and see what that sounds like. Beautiful. So I think what I want to do is have that sweep a little bit. Let's go to LFO 4 and have it just slightly sweep through a little bit. So let's take a listen. Beautiful. I love that. All right, it's time for some effects. So I have the RAUM reverb here, and then I have the FLAIR Flanger. I have the Bite Bit Crusher. And then I have the guitar rig. I have the flanger chorus, and so I'm only using that to get a lo-fi sound. So we'll activate those one at a time and see what it sounds like. Beautiful. All right, let's go on to the next. That is the FLAIR. Let's take a listen to that one. Beautiful. That's fire. I love that. All right, on to the next. So let's take a listen to the Byte plugin. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and activate the flanger, see what that sounds like. Sounds lovely. Okay. I also have this solid bus compressor. And that's just basically gluing everything together so the effects can kind of stick out. Anyway, man, that's the end of this video. You guys let me know what you think about Massive X and those other plugins that I use down below in the comments. So my thoughts on the plugin is I really like Massive X. I really do. I love the sound of it, actually. Now, the layout, the GUI, I'm not a big fan of the GUI at all. You know, it's just kind of weird and it kind of distracts you when you're in the creative mode. other than the GUI, I think it sounds amazing. I love how, you know, it has plenty of modulation options. And so that's always a plus in my book. You have multiple oscillators, multiple filter types. So you can get really creative with this plugin. You really can. It's just you get kind of hung up on the GUI and trying to figure out what does what, because yeah, it's just kind of all over the place. So, but anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the video with a thumbs up and drop a comment, man. Go ahead and engage. It really helps with the algorithm. Go ahead and hit the subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified when we drop our next video. And stay tuned, man. We got more videos coming, you know. Don't forget, go to realloops.com to cop the Sweet Fusion preset pack. But anyway, man, we out of here. Peace.